You know, when I first started to watch the show, I just thought, wow, it's so nice to see positive German representation in anime. Because the last time I saw Germans in anime was that World War II Evangelion parody. Yeah. My first impressions of this show, I just thought it was Walking Dead, but the zombies are giant. You know, there was a mystery around them. Are they sentient? Are they evil? Are they just like wild animals? You know, Hanj treats them like bears, but what are they? Apparently they don't even eat people for sustenance. They just eat them for fun. They're assholes. But I guess I would too, you know, if there were like sentient chicken fingers running around and they're really tasty. I can't really blame them. That was my guess as to what was going on in season 1 and 2. But I guess that's what makes it interesting, right? The mystery. And over the course of the show, you slowly discover more and more about them. And I don't mind the slow pace because every episode they're just trying to survive. And, you know, it's interesting. You see the character dynamics. And along the way you get basic apocalyptic talking points like survival stuff, food shortages, there's high tensions, there's group infighting. And you follow Eren, the main character, and his views constantly change, but he's always yearning for the same thing. Freedom.
一生壁の中から出られなくても飯食って寝てりゃ生きていけるよ。でもそれじゃまるで家畜じゃないか。
You got your angry German kid, you got Justin Bieber, you got stepsister pining for
stepbrother.
You got a bunch of side characters. And I gotta admit, it's kinda hard to follow because they're all wearing similar outfits and they got foreign names. Yeah, so I paid a lot of trips to the Wikipedia where I got spoiled a lot just to keep up with what the fuck was going on. Some of the better side characters I think are Erwin. You know, he's cool and calm and collected, and yet he's the best hype man when he needs to be. And visually, you see his burden. He's standing on a pile of bodies, just like the guilt of all the shit he's had to do. Then you have Levi. He's a badass who doesn't look like a stereotypical badass, you know? And I won't spoil why he's seemingly as small and scrawny as he is, but there's a good reason for it. There's a good reason for all of them. Like, even Mikasa. There's a really important reason why she's the only Asian there. You got Hanji. And on the surface, she seems like some goofy comic relief, which I always like. But she is a badass in her own right. And I think the most important contribution her character made was reshaping how we thought of Titans. Because at first I just saw them as the antagonists. But she sees them more like cute wild animals. You know, they're really cute, but they could also fucking kill you. And then it was like her whole arc of Sonny and Bean that made Erwin question like, who is the real enemy? Is it the Titans? Is it the mindless animals? Or is it the mind-having people? Then you got Rainer. He seemed like kind of an asshole at first, and for a long time he did, until season 4, and you actually get to see what's going on through his mind. You do feel sorry for him, because he finally realizes the consequences of his actions. That guilt, you see him try to bullshit to himself like, yeah, they were all assholes. There was this one chick who was offering up a quarter of a potato, but trying to pass it off as half. Oh, she's the devil, and then he's like realizing like, no, what the fuck am I doing? Jesus Christ. And I'm glad that he and Eren came to an understanding. Even though they're enemies, they're probably gonna kill each other next time they see each other, but there's honor in that. There's a mutual understanding like, hey, you gotta do this, I gotta do this. Nothing personal. It's pretty much, it is what it is. One character from season 4 I gotta talk about is Gabby. And I don't blame her for the shitty things she does. She's pretty much like Eren in season 1. And from her point of view, especially after what happened when Eren came to visit, I know exactly where she's coming from. I know why she had to kill who she killed. But yeah, I don't like her. I just don't. It's like you already spent 3 seasons with this set of characters and now you move on. It's like the Saviors and Rick's gang from The Walking Dead. You know, if you think about it, Rick's gang was the one that fucked up the Saviors first by killing them in their sleep, but you still feel bad when someone from Rick's group dies instead of when the Saviors dies, because you don't know them, you don't really care about them, but they're all people. It's like that meme when you see like watching a bear eat a fish in a bear documentary.
Yeah.
And then when you watch a bear eat a fish in a fish documentary. You know, it's something like that. I can actually summarize the series by just changing a few words in the title. So season 1, instead of Attack on Titan, just change it to Attack Titan, because Eren becomes the Titan. Season 2, Attack with Titan, because you got the Scout Gang, you got all of them fucking dead, and how did they die? A rival Titan, and then you got Titan versus Titan. Season 3 was planning the attack with Titan. So it was mostly just humans talking. And the human versus human stuff was interesting. Like the strategy and the discussion and the lore, mainly about Historia. That stuff was interesting, but God, I miss the Titans, man. I was like, a lot of times I watch every episode, it's like, yeah, this was cool, but I want to see huge monsters punch each other, man. I'm waiting for it. Season 4, Titan Attack. And this show suddenly went from The Walking Dead to Breaking Bad. You got the main character being the villain now. And even the music reflects that. Oh, the music's good. I gotta talk about that soon. The writing on this show is hard to follow at first. And no hate on JoJo, but the writing on JoJo is way simpler than this. Like, this shit is confusing. Like, whenever the plot of JoJo would get too confusing, a narrator would come in and explain. So you get this huge exposition dump within the episode, and it's really easy to follow. I don't have to, like, read anything else. I can just watch the show and like, oh, okay, that's why what happened happened. It's like they're spoon-feeding you the information, you know? I like that. Whereas in Attack on Titan, first few episodes, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had to read the Wikipedia. Like, I was just trying to figure out who was who, so I was looking up character names. And then, like, on the side, you have, like, human form, Titan form. I was like, shit, now I know he's gonna be a Titan. But even with all those spoilers, the story, it keeps you guessing. Every season, I think I know what's gonna happen, and then it turns out, nope. Like, yeah, at first I thought the Titans were assholes, but it turns out they were victims, really. And when I found out that there actually was humanity outside the walls, my mind was blown, man. I was like, oh shit, they have photographs outside the walls. So I was like, oh shit, this is why Erwin was so curious. He's curiosity calls me.
This makes me curious, you see. Theo! Exploration, Rudy!
He just wanted to know what the fuck was going on. Those were his last words. So, yeah. My point is, they always go a completely different way, and I love that about it. Anyway, seeing as how I knew some spoilers, I knew the main three, Bert, Annie, and Reina, were Titans too. And I thought the show was gonna be how, like, there's this race of Titan shifters, and they weren't gonna be accepted by normal people no matter what. You know, some, X-Men Brotherhood of Mutants shit. I thought it was gonna be that. Nope. When I first started watching this show, and I saw Eren's mom getting eaten, I was eating a sub, so maybe that's not the best thing to do, eating a sub while watching this show. But the violence isn't, like, that graphic, really. They always cut away, but you get the point. In fact, in the book, you got a woman doing CPR on half a corpse, and it's really gruesome. But in the show, they kind of censor it. I don't know, I think JoJo is way more violent. You see a lot more blood, you see you see limbs being ripped off, you see Zeppeli being cut in half, but over here they don't want to show it. I guess in JoJo it's like funny, that's why they can get away with showing it, whereas in Attack on Titan it's just fucking depressing. The show is not a fun ride. Okay, I take it back. Sometimes it's comical. Because there was this one scene with these soldiers, and they're all rookies, right? And they're just sitting around, and there's Titans outside.
Yes, 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 yes!
And then you got situational stuff. Just didn't translate well, but I laughed at it, because I'm immature. And you got Sasha. I love Sasha. She's always doing weird fucking stupid shit. I don't know if she's like just an asshole or she's legitimately got some like neurological problems up there, but she's funny as hell. You know, at first I thought Sasha was an Ackerman because she was like, she just got this like burst of energy out of nowhere. Turns out she's just a weird kid. I like her and Connie's interactions, especially in season 4. I'm glad, you know, spoilers, she's fucking dead. But you know, even post-death, she still made you laugh. And she was like putting down Connie in a seemingly innocent way. And then she's just going up to the only black guy and says, "Why are you black?" She's great. The show does have its fair share of lighthearted moments. Like Historia punching Levi. For a moment it felt like a regular old slice of life show. Then you got Eren who can't get it up.
I can't get it up. I'm so nervous.
That was so painful to watch, dude. There's so many times he fucks up just because He's got performance anxiety. I can't do it when you guys are watching. Please stop. Please look away. Stop. And sometimes it gets really sad. He got his friend killed because he couldn't get it up. That's why he couldn't help but laugh, because it's so ridiculous. It's such a human thing, and yet in this crazy fantasy situation. So I love the juxtaposition. I love the Titan cameos. You know, you got the I'm with her Titan. You've got the Ayo Titan. You got the finger pointing Titan. You got Psychic Pebbles Titan. Oh, you got the Shy Titan. Drawing fucking circles with his finger. Oh, you got the Dad Bod Titan. With his gangsta walk. Holy shit. I love it. The character designs are really cool. It's like Stans and JoJo, you know? You get to see all the cool ways you can design things. I think Isayama was just sitting in a doctor's office one day. He saw the anatomical poster, and then he thought, I have an idea. I love how the main Titans have names. You know, you got the Armor Titan because he has armor. You got the Attack Titan because he attacks. You got the Cart Titan because she carries around a cart. And they took one look at Annie's Titan and they said, Titties! Titty Titan! You know my man Pixies was in there, man. The naming committee. Oh, they wild, boy. The music is hype! It makes me dance like my outro. It gets you hyped for the show. I love that about theme songs. A lot of times I skip theme songs if it doesn't set the mood, but these theme songs are on point. Especially for the season. Like in season 3 was kind of slow, and it was still nice. Every time I hear one of the others though, it's like the memes of the people going wild. I feel that, you know? And I don't know if it's the music itself that's great, or the association I have between the music and the show, because it reflects the tone so well, but yeah, I'm just glad we have great art in terms of visuals, story, and music, and possibly more. I really appreciate that, especially in the first few episodes, you immediately notice there's compositing involved. Like, there's no flat color, there's always like the sun shining, there's always bloom, there's always lens flares. It makes things look cinematic. They have that soft gradient overlay. There's just a lot of care put into it. And in season 4 they kind of go overboard, but it's still good. And I guess they have to make a distinction in season 4 because it's a different animation studio. But I like that, because it shows that, you know, this is from a different perspective. And also, the main character we've been following for 3 seasons, he's a little bit cray-cray. Before that, you have very recognizable character designs. A big gripe I had about anime back then was like, everyone has the same eyes. But here, you have characters with wildly different eyes. Like, I could crop a picture of their eyes and you'd know who's who. You know, Eren has like cat eyes. Mikasa has rectangular eyes. Erwin's got really thick eyebrows. Levi, he's got rolled back. He's like, ugh. They're just that iconic. And it's very important because a lot of them wear the same clothes throughout, so it's good to have these very distinguishing features. And one more cool thing I like about the visuals is that whenever a character dies, you see their teeth. Like, usually their teeth is just like one white bar, but when they die, they get like more details. It's almost like hyper-realistic. Just to show that, yeah, this isn't a character anymore, it's just the character's body at this point. It's gritty! And even Eren, the Eren that we knew for the past 3 seasons, he had that look after kissing Historia's hand and realizing, oh shit, this is what happened and will happen. You know, symbolically, I think he died at that moment. Usually he had that fire and passion, and now he's just moody. Hell, the only time he had passion after this is when he got doing some cringe shit in front of a mirror. Got a little bit embarrassed. The memes, man. Above all, memes are the things that introduce me to shows. You know, it worked with JoJo, it worked with Invincible, and it worked for this. The first meme I saw was potentially a huge spoiler. If you've seen Samurai Jack and that show's ending, you can kind of guess what's going on here. You got memes created by people, taking clips from the show and just altering it. Even the ad campaigns did this, you know, the cross-promotional thing. I thought that was really cool, like with the Snickers and the shaving division and the Una Orenwan series. Completely changed the plot of the show. is like creating these alternate universes, and this is something that I just love in general when art can inspire more art. You can even have different iterations. You can have all the fan canon. I used to think it would take 40 years for a franchise or an IP to have multiple iterations. But nowadays you can just put it out there immediately and boom, if it connects with people, they're gonna make more of it. I guess a parallel to this show would be like the power of the Founding Titan, you know? You just say one thing, everyone follows. And you don't have to follow, but everyone like hears it and is like, yeah, this connects with me, I like this too. The thing that separates this show from JoJo is that it's really timely. It just finished like a few months ago, right? A lot of references are recognizable. And some of the characters are direct references to people who are alive today. The Armor Titan's design is based off Brock Lesnar. I knew this guy looked familiar. And then Sasha is named after Borat, and even the Founding Titan's design. Spoilers. Was apparently based off this thing, which has another thing named after it. I don't know. See, this video was posted a few years ago, so Isayama could have actually been watching this very video and gotten inspired to write the ending. And it reminds me of things that actually exist in real life today, like strand beasts. This is what they are, and this is what the Founding Titan looks like. And it's really cool when you have such a timely thing, because you get to play detective, you know? You get to see, like, where did he get his inspiration? Or some sort of viral marketing for people who just want to find out more. I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but because it's so timely, there's also a lot of parallels with the real world. It's kind of eerie at some points. Like, the political aspect. There were times I genuinely didn't like this show. I didn't want to watch anymore because I watch a show to escape, alright? I don't want to watch things that are happening in real life, but this show does it. Or I can't help but think of real world similarities when I watch this show. And unfortunately, I'm already hooked, so I keep watching. And it's stressful sometimes, but it's always interesting, so at least there's that. Like the whole thing with everyone being kept inside the walls, and they can't go out. Because, oh no, there's no humans outside. Oh, there's Titans, you gotta stay inside. It reminds me of, of the fucking lockdowns we have today. You know? It's just a parallel. I'm not trying to see this shit. It's just like I watch this, I go out, I see the news, like, oh shit, I'm kinda in the same boat here. And the government's lying to their citizens. It's like, turns out they had a pretty fucking good reason to lie, but they still lied, so. Yeah, and then you got preemptive strikes, you got all this shit. The part I really didn't like was the courtroom scene when everyone found out Eren was a Titan shifter. They were deciding what to do with him. And then they kept talking about, oh, you just want to do this because of your political agenda. It's like, shit, you're using all these buzzwords I don't want to hear. I just want to watch fucking huge zombies. And I'm glad they got that figured out. Another parallel I see that's very evident in Season 4 is the self-hate and the punishment for the sins of your ancestors.
Listen to me. A century ago, your ancestors ruled the world by doing awful, unforgivable things.
A century ago? Okay, but what about the people here now? What unforgivable things have we done?
Like, I've seen this before in other media, like Zootopia and Hunger Games. Yeah, it happens in real life, and it's something I don't like, but here it is. Let's just call it what it is. It's white guilt. You know, Whitey did a bunch of bad shit in the past, but nowadays people are still...
You know, Whitey's gotta pay. And the payment is baby hands.
I don't know, personally, I think you should let it go, but I understand the situation's a lot more nuanced than that. I don't want to get into it. I just think that it does make sense, because this shit is happening in real life. And that's what I liked about Walking Dead a few years ago, too, because a lot of the show wasn't about the zombies. A lot of the show was just trying to survive, and like trying to not get into wars with other factions. And dealing with very low technology, trying to survive day to day and not starve or get infections. This shit is happening in the real world, and I like that The Walking Dead was touching on those subjects. It makes me grateful to not be in that situation. So I haven't read all the spoilers. All the spoilers I came across is by accident, because I just can't help myself. I keep looking at memes, and sometimes the memes would have spoilers, and I'm like, Doom! But I kind of gathered that Eren turns into a bird somehow, and I do think that's poetic. Everybody wants, like, the perfect ending, the guy and the girl get together, and yeah, they have a love story and all this, but I think his true love was freedom. And, a bird Like, that's the ultimate symbol of freedom, right? Somebody gets released from jail, they open up a box, a bunch of duffs fly out. But apparently now he's a tree. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Don't tell me. I wanna be surprised. I am looking forward to the ending. I think it's gonna be divisive. I think a lot of people aren't gonna like it. But you know, as long as it makes sense, I think I'll be okay with it. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, there's no way they can have a consistently good story and then fuck it up near the end, right? Right?